Well, spring is upon us, folks. Certain things are growing, certain things aren't just yet. Everybody's antsy to jump into the soil. And now's the time to build your soil more than anything. But as it goes, I'm sure many of you are sitting there in the same situation looking like this. And knowing the difference between the weeds and what you planted are two big things. So, of course, this is obvious. This is going to be some of that nasty, lovely mustard weed everybody's been getting. It's always the first guy, usually in the beginning of the party. Right next to this beautiful hardneck garlic. As you can see, tons of baby sprouts that are coming up of all weeds. So, this is why it's important to start watering at this moment. Get all the weeds up. Get out there and hand pick them. Smartest thing you can do while they're little. Nobody likes dealing with the big weeds. And then whenever you get to that point, get ready to go and start getting stuff ready. But another set of weeds will come up. So it's very important that you hold patience. As you can see, there's some donor lettuces that came out from last year. Along with some chamisa right there. Looks like some lambs here right there. That's an edible weed. Some weeds are beneficial, some aren't. Then you got beds that you built. So this is a holker bed right here. This carries logs, pine, tons of different types of biomass material, soil mix, composites. From there you can sheet mulch it with something like this and keep your moistures in. But as it goes, let's go back into what's growing right now. So of course we have some garlic. Looks like we had a little friend that visited us and probably smashed it. You're probably gonna get some burn in some of your plants. That's okay, because that extra frost, whatever stays alive, will be stronger than what did not stay alive. Remember that. Seedlings that are all cold weather will start coming up. You can start rows like that, and then you could actually sparingly take out little bits of them and move them to other positions. Or you get scatter like this, and from there they become a donor system. Chives are highly prominent at this time of year, of course. This right here is actually celery. Tall Utah. Babies will start coming up at this point in time of last year's drop of seeds from these beautiful chives. Of course, you can see the weeds, how they like to camouflage in your winter stuff. And now that things have set through the whole winter, if you've had plants sit through the winter, now that it's getting warmer, a bolting phase will start. That's going to produce seed that you can restart up for this summer, which makes a really great, addition to your garden. That's always a great thing to run with. Shard will go ahead and start rebolting if it looked like it died on you inside your garden. These will all produce different types of shoots, so one plant can produce up to 20 shoots. Of course, lettuce is the time. If you planted lettuce in, say, January, that's where your price hit. And chard in January, that's where your price hit. And chamisa weed, which you didn't plant, that probably came up over last week. So just to let you know, that's chamisa. Garlic that you planted during the winter probably took a minute to jump, but now it's getting ready to jump. Plants you had during the winter are probably bolting, much like this pak choi. It's going to produce seeds. New bits will actually rejuvenate from those pieces that broke down, along with weeds that come in. Be careful just grabbing bundles of weeds, because you can see how we just saved that piece of lettuce right there. A happy consumer will enjoy that. Pak choi, flowering because it got so warm. Each one of these bracts right here that you see going up will produce seeds, much like a little pea pod. If you had yerba's coming up along with mullein. If you have gooseberries, right now is the time that they're going to start flowering and feeding all your little pollinator buddies. It's always a great thing. Native daisies. Cherries. You want them to be at this point right now, not flowering early. So you want to kind of hold them back. Cilantro likes the cold, just to let you know. So it's great for starting out on cold stratifications. Best way to do it is scratch them up slightly inside a box with a little bit of some sandpaper and chuck them in the ground. They'll take off like crazy. Hops start coming up at this time of year too. Almost look like tiny little pot plants, just so you know. But they will start jumping up. If you are a hop owner, this is a perfect time for them to start lunging up because you're going to end up developing and covering up your fence and making sure that you have no wind problems, erosion whatsoever. Thyme, such a beautiful plant. Goes great with chicken, other types of red meats too, fish, pork. My goodness, it goes with almost everything. That's always a great little piece to have right there. Always a good thing to keep in your garden. It may look like it's dying back during the winter, but this is how prominent it gets in a week after that. All that bright green, that's all new growth. And that all happened rapidly. Oregano. Oregano can be a tricky little guy. Spread it on the soil, tap it down, moist it down lightly. Give it about 3 weeks and you'll start seeing those guys coming up. Along with the thyme. If you have thyme butt, they tank buddy really well. Honeysuckle. Such a beautiful plant. These are always really, really great. Great for the hummingbirds. Great for all the pollinators that come into the sectors of your property. Great for wind cover. Great for the kids to pick off the blooms and suck on that little stem that comes out. We all did it when we were kids. Always a great product. Always a must inside every garden. Egyptian walking onions. Really cool piece for the garden. Carries a cool tell to tell everybody. Grows little heads of baby onions on top. Leans over from the weight. Starts them as a crawling system. Very smart plant. Greek oregano. Always a great one. Bulgy. Takes over a nice little section. Crawls and starts itself off again, much like mint. Really unique plant. Lasts through the whole winter. Bright light shard. Lasted the whole winter. One of the great things about this plant is that it will constantly rejuvenate. Even with that dead around there, resist the urge to rip it off to allow it to work as insulation during the cold periods of the months. And then once it gets warmer, clean them up and put them in a nice happy place. Tuna cactus. Really cool type of cactus. Practically spineless, edible, delicious. Produces giant red fruits on it with beautiful blooms. Those fruits turn to a very delicious prickly pear. Yerba de Buena, one of the greatest right there. That part right there is one of the old-time favorites. No matter what, anybody from our old school culture, they will tell you stories of picking this along the roadside. Very unique native plant, very special to us. Mega green onion. This one's a really cool one because this is actually like slightly out of juvenile stage. This thing gets about 3 times its size. And as you can see, hand to comparison, that's what I mean. It still gets bigger. Very unique plant. Creates a great bulb at the end for delicious eating. The green parts right here can be dried, used as chives, etc. Really cool, unique addition to your garden. White Ford Hook Shard. Very old strain of shard. Very unique to its style and design. Lasted all winter. You can see by the frostbite right here, that's the worst that it got out of the whole year. And as you can see, hand to comparison, that's where we're at right there. These go on sale next week. You'll be able to buy leaflets of these. And also, we have a lot of these flowers getting ready to go on sale for Mother's Day and Easter. So as you can see, we got some pretty cool stuff. Here we got butterflies. These are all beneficial things to your pollinator garden, and I'm sure your mother or significant other, or even you, would enjoy actually having some of these. Look at those Elysiums. God, isn't that beautiful? Look how beautiful all that is, folks. Starting next week, you could buy these babies. They'll get transferred out because we're going into a new theme in our garden. So be sure to come in next week. Come pick up some flowers for Ma. Go ahead and get yourself all set. This, even though it looks like a flower, it becomes incredibly invasive. It's actually a native weed to here. And they're real pretty. They're bringing the pollinators, but right now, since we already have pollination flowers going on, the sequence of those are being yanked out. And same thing, mustard weed, commonality type of weed right here. This is what gives you that really itchy nose all day. So I hope that some of these plants that you have seen have been of interest. Lets you know what we're growing here down over here at the A-frame. We're getting ready to do our U-pick garden this year. It opens up every other Sunday, and that is going to go ahead and let you take advantage of picking vegetables, finding out where they came from, how to be able to get yourself to be able to enjoy some goodies, and have a good old time with the family or just yourself. All up to you. But we hope to see you here soon. Come on in, come stop on by, check out what we're up to. You don't have to buy anything. You just come say hi. That's always a great thing. And look at that. Look how lucky we are, folks. And he doesn't even know I'm there. And that's what you find at the A-frame. The place is full of amazing, cool stuff. We do ask that you leave our lizards alone because, well, they are patrons of this place just much like you guys, and it'd be like somebody harassing you. So, just so you get to know a little bit about what we're up to, everything that we do. Oh, that little guy. I think he knows I'm there, so he's just gonna pretend that he's like still. But pretty cool, huh?